Let's see. It says that I am live. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Monk Dan. Man, I am streaming from my laptop, so I hope the audio is good. I see the audio indication that I have audio, and I'm assuming that I am live. I'm not at home where I have my small setup, but anyway, I'm happy to be streaming. I'm streaming live from Houston, Texas, H Town. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hit the like button for me, send me some comments, and subscribe, baby. I really appreciate that. This channel is designed to share philosophy topics. This channel is to share wisdom and gain knowledge through wisdom. Um, and I want to do this through reading. Reading is one of my hobbies, I guess I guess you could say. I enjoy reading. I so I just thought I'd bring that to the table. And the book that I am reading, you can see it, Casanova, The World of a Seductive Genius. So the last stream I did was the preface. It was really good, and I've just finished chapter 1, and let's talk about it. But before I do, I am going to have timestamps. That's something I am going to work on is timestamps. Um, so that way, if you want to skip to a specific point, you can do that. I'll have that. That's something I'm going to work on. I am on the road, so bear with me. Second of all, I am in Houston, Texas. So here's an intro. Let me give you an introduction. I am in Houston, Texas. I'm originally from H-Town. I hadn't been here in forever, and the city is different. Everything is different. I'm in my hotel room downtown. Man, I'm living a free agent fucking lifestyle, and that's gonna be for life. And traveling is one of the things, and I haven't been back to Houston in a while, so had to come back, and things are totally different. The weather is still disgusting, bugs and humidity, and it's just terrible. um, but I chose to do. I wanted to do it back home I live in northern Wyoming, so I wanted to do it in northern Wyoming. But I said, you know what? Let's make it special. I'm going back to my roots, and that's going to be very pivotal. Is that the word I'm trying to use? That's monumental, I guess. I don't know the word. Um, it's sentimental, if you will. Let's just keep it that way. Why I chose to do it home, and it has to do with what I'm going to discuss. All right. Um, here we go. So here we go. Chapter 1 is called Zanetta, and I could be mispronouncing the name. So if I am, please. Oh, let me see if I can enlarge my screen. I don't want to mess around. I hope that didn't do anything. I enlarged my screen. I hope that didn't do anything. Man, I like the room. I wish I could show you my room, but I'm gonna put that on another whatever. Anyway, so the title of the stream is not the stream. The chapter is Zanetta. Who in the hell is Zanetta in regards to Casanova? Bang! That is his mother. The title of chapter 1 is his mother's name. Monumental, right? I came back to H-Town. Of course, I had to get a nice cut. I had to get my beard cleaned up. I got to pick through it a little bit more. But I had to come in and see my moms, man. I hadn't seen my mom in forever. And I'm like, yo, that's awesome that I'm coming to see my mom back in my birth city. Let me say it that way. And the first title is his mother's name. Let's get into it. All right. Before I do that, I want to also make a key point before I do that. And I'm going to put a bookmark or whatever it's called, pin in the review so you can skip to it. But I want to bring this up before I start getting into chapter 1. And I want to quote Coach CoachGregAdams, Coach Gang. I want to reference Coach on this because this is very important. Coach said in his stream, and let me get the stream title. I got to use my phone to look it up when I plugged my phone into my laptop, it wanted to use my phone, which would have been nice because it looked, I guarantee you it would have looked better on my phone, but I don't have a stand. Oh, you can see it. I don't have a stand to prop up and do I don't know. But you know, this is my second stream, so bear with me. Anyway, Coach did a stream. It says 5 days ago. It's the title of it is called DDG finally exposes and sues baby mama Haley Bailey. And then he has the little bar. I forgot what it's called, and it's called postpartum. Excuse me? Question mark. All right. You don't have to watch the stream. I encourage you to watch the stream, but I'm bringing that up to bring out a point that Coach made at the 5 hour and 15-minute 10 seconds point. And the point that he said was 4 reasons why people don't become successful, right? And he says this at the 5 hour 10 second point in his live stream. 4 reasons why people don't, and I put do or don't become successful, right? Number 1, genetics. Number 2, he said place of birth. Number 3, parents standing the parents standing in the world. And number 4, parent exposing you to options in life. That is pivotal. I keep freaking up that goddamn on word. That is monumental. That is very essential to what I'm going to talk about. And that is very essential to this chapter. And it is very essential not only to my life, but to many people's lives, all of our lives, right? Let's get into it. Chapter 1. And if you do have the book, awesome, yo. I'm going to try my best to go along the chapter. So if you follow with me and you can kind of see where I am and pick out things and we can talk about it, send me some messages and we can talk about it. But anyway, it starts off talking about Giacomo. I might be mispronouncing his name, but let's just keep it simple, Casanova. It talks about starting out with his mom. This is the name his mom. Zanetta is his mom. His flamboyant, elusive mother, Zanetta Ferrucci, came first. So let me just read the entire sentence. Of all the women in Giacomo Casanova's life, his flamboyant, elusive mother, Zanetta Ferrucci, came first. Wow. That's very interesting that they brung that up. But I highlighted specific words, flamboyant and elusive. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. His mama was a hoe. And we gonna talk about it. His mama was in these streets. She was in these streets. It is what it is. And that's very important because when I start talking about the genetics, that's going to be very important, right? Let me further go down the line here. It talks about her background as his mother's background, which since we're talking about genetics, she was the daughter of a cobbler, and I looked that up. There's something to deal with some like a shoe salesman, or not a salesman, but someone who fixes shoes. I believe that was the definition of that. But she was the daughter of a guy that did something with shoes, fixed shoes or something like that. And it says Zanetta transformed herself into I cannot pronounce that word, but she transformed herself into an actress or a courtesan. A courtesan, I looked that word up. Basically, if I can remember that correctly, you know what? I got time, you got time. You know, we're going to look it up. Basically, it was like she was fuck it. Let's just look it up. Courtesan definition or meaning. Here it is. A courtesan. I could be mispronounced. Let's hear it. Courtesan. A courtesan. A courtesan is a prostitute with a courtly, wealthy, or upper class clientele. Right? She was a hoe, like I just thought. Like I said, right? So she was a hoe to wealthy individuals or people with means. Let's just call it what it is. The heroine of a fairy tale for adults. She came into the world August 27, 1707, the illegitimate daughter of Gaetano. I don't know to pronounce these words, but she had a father and a mother, and so on and so forth. All right. So she has an actress background. That is very important, right? Because that talks about the parents standing in the world, right? Um, I highlighted another part about Carlo Goldoni, a Venetian student. So this guy here, he started making plays and commedia dell'arte. Man, please forgive me, theater folks. It's been a while, man. My first degree was in theater, so please forgive me. I forgot a lot of this stuff. So this guy was making some plays and stuff like that, and that was very essential. Let's talk about his dad, right? So we know his mom was a hoe, it is what it is, right? So she has that background, and then here comes along his dad. So his dad name is Gaetano Casanova. Please forgive me, right? And let's say his dad, and I'll tell you why I did the quotation marks, right? His dad was an actor, right? But check this out. His dad was so I won't read every fucking thing to you. I want to just talk, tell you straight up what it is. So his dad was an actor, right? But he didn't start off as an actor. His dad started off as a dancer, right? So he was following this lady who somehow settled into, let me make sure I don't want to misquote everything. Let's just read the beginning here. Amid the ferment, a young actor named Gaetano Casanova became enamored of an actress known as La Fragaletta. Please forgive me. Anyway, so his dad was into this woman, right? He was fancied by this woman, and he followed this woman, right? Let me put a pin right there. Fellas, don't follow a fucking woman. Don't do that. Stand on your square, whatever your purpose is, or if you're trying to find yourself, I've been there. Do not follow a woman's lead. It's that simple, bro. A woman cannot guide you. A woman is not going to be able to find your purpose for you. That is something you have to do. That's something I have to do. That's just something we have to do as men. It's that simple. The reason why I say that is because this dude, he follows Casanova's dad, follows this woman. He's if I can gather the context, he was head over heels for this lady. He's into this lady. And so they end up going to Venice, and that's important place of birth, right? And I'll explain why that's important eventually. And let's just be honest, I'll just be cut to the chase. Casanova, the son, was born in Venice, right? And I'll tell you a little bit about Venice in just a second. So his dad, following this lady, they end up in Venice, right? So he's all into her, and eventually she just ups and leave, right? But there was something specific why. Where she anyway, I'll just cut to so he follows this lady to Venice. She ups and leave. I forgot why, but it was just an abrupt left, just left him hanging, right? So here he is in Venice. He's left to himself. He doesn't know what the fuck to do, and he's just bam, he's in Venice. And so he was initially a dancer, and then here it is. It says much later, Giacomo, who is Casanova, claimed that he'd heard that his father, had begun his career as a dancer. So he heard that his daddy was a dancer first, and later turned as an actor, right? But his dad wasn't a good actor. His dad was known, and I'll continue the sentence, becoming even more highly regarded for his probity than for his talent, a tactful way of saying that he lacked aptitude. So his dad was known more of his morals. rather than his skill of an actor. So with that being said, if we can gather context clues, his dad wasn't a really good actor. So he's a struggling actor, and went he moved to Venice, uprooted his life to follow a woman to Venice. The lady leaves, and now he's stuck. So now he's having to, let's just call it, I was a struggling actor, and it was difficult. And you're gonna have to, as a struggling actor, you will be finding odd jobs. You're gonna be doing what you can to do to survive, right? That being said, let's get to the point to where how his dad and his mom meet, right? This is how they connect. Background, this goes into the genetics part, right? Right. So his dad needed a place to stay. And so actors here, it says um, remaining behind in Venice, that's his dad, became a fixture at the theater San Samuel, performing in farces and pantomimes and lodging at the Calle degli Orbi in a house owned by shoemakers. And you remember I said shoemakers, Zanetta, Zanetta's dad was a shoemaker, a cobbler. He dealt with shoes. So that's the connection, right? So shoemakers, they kind of rented rooms to actors. So his dad, Casanova's dad, needed a room, and so that's how he met his Casanova's dad met his mom, right? So it says that in Giacomo's telling, the little household included Girolamo, that's Zanetta's dad, and his her mom, Marzia, and the 16-year-old Zanetta, right? Then it says that J- uh, J- Casanova's dad fell in love with Zanetta, right? And so they pretty much they hit it off. But here's something odd. Well, I shouldn't say odd. His dad didn't. Her dad didn't approve of this shit. His dad didn't like that. And let's just call it what it is. I understand why. He's a broke ass motherfucker. However, he doesn't approve of this man who's willing to marry his daughter or in love with his daughter. But you remember I said she was a prostitute for the elites or the wealthy? I don't hear the disagreements. I don't hear the uproar or the backlash of his daughter being a prostitute. That's weird, huh? Life is a fucking trip, man. So his dad or her dad didn't approve of this shit. And I'll read a little bit. It just said the dad, Gaetano, well, Gaetano fell in love with Zanetta in 1723. Um, she was a youngster immediately, but they don't tell how old the dad was either. So that's something to think about. I know some of you get motherfuckers out there are uncomfortable with the age gap dating. Whatever. That was a different time, so whatever. I'm just trying to give all the facts. Um. Immediately, being so her dad thought an actor as an abomination. I've been in that situation. I have time. Let's just talk. I want you to let's just wrap it up. Let's just wrap. Let's just wrap. So I lived in California for a year. I went out there to pursue acting, right? But this chick, I forgot her name. She was into the costume or modeling, creating modeling clothes, and I wasn't pursuing her of anything like that. I thought she was fine as fuck. She was my type, but I wasn't pursuing her or anything. I was trying to get myself connected in the industry, meet people, network and stuff like that. And so I became one of her models to do the clothing and all that good stuff like that. I'm saying all that to say she and I became cool. We wasn't romantically involved, nothing like that. I never pursued her, but we were cool, so cool that she invited me to meet some of her folks. Um, let's say it wasn't pleasant. It was not. It was not pleasant at all. Of course, hold on. Of course. Oh. Hopefully my screen does not go crazy. I don't have all my sound bites. But here's, look, check this out.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Oh, hopefully my screen didn't go away. Oh no, it's still here. All right. Hopefully y'all saw that or heard that. Yeah, of course she was white. So you know that was the issue. And I met her dad. And so he was like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to be an actor. And I got that sense that he was like, So yeah, man, it's tough if you're an actor, man. Actors, AI is on y'all ass, actors, man. So anyway, I'm just having a little fun, having a little discussion. Anyway, right? So check this out. All right. So, but anyway, eventually they get married, right? Casanova and Zanetta. I mean, Casanova's dad and Zanetta, they get married, right? And I'll just read this little part since I highlighted it. In Casanova's heightened rendition, the lovers eloped with Marzia, which is the mom, protesting loudly at her and her father dying of grief shortly after the marriage, not before. But here is something ironic. Check this sentence out. The next following fucking sentence. In less operatic reality, the newlyweds moved in with Marzia, the mom. Uh, the mother-in-law, now they saying the mother-in-law, who welcomed their companionship and honorable arrangement. That two-faced motherfucker. So she protesting out like she not happy with it, but she welcomed the relationship. She even invited them into the home. Okay. um I thought that was very odd that she did that shit. Let's move it along because I don't want to prolong all of this shit. So I'm gonna speed it up just a tad, right? So Casanova is born of the two. But here's the thing. Earlier I did the father thing, right? Let's see where I hit. Um I'm gonna just read the highlighted parts, man. It's so much good stuff in this chapter. I was like, holy shit. The lively young guy. Da, da. All right, so before he's born, remember his mom was an actor and she was in the streets, right? So she catches the eye of this owner of this theater. His name was Michele Grimani, who belonged to one of the important ruling families of Venice, a tightly knit cast of about 400 families, right? So she catches his eye because she still wants to be an actress. And remember, the dad ain't a good actor, but she's flamboyant, so she's out there. She's elusive, so she's gonna catch the attention of these folks. So she catches this guy's eye, right? And then it says, gossip about their carrying on never ceased, especially when Zanetta became pregnant, in all likelihood by Gaetano, which is Casanova's dad. But check this out. Casanova writes that he was born of this marriage 9 months later on April 2nd, 1725. And they talk about this baptism. But then it says, in his declining years, Casanova, he revisited the subject of his paternity by writing and publishing a long satirical account. And he has it in a different language, ne amare, ne donne, claiming that Michael Grimani, not the beleaguered, I cannot pronounce that word, but was his true father, right? I said all that to say, I said to say that there is some doubt that, and this is Mari, whatever, that man, genetics, and I'm bringing out, I'm not doing this to shame his mom or in any way, but I'm bringing this up to say about genetics, and I'll bring that up in just a second. But this tormented though, um, this tormented Casanova because he was mentally thinking, and it says this identity crisis animated, teased, and tormented him throughout the years. He would spend his life trying to, I cannot pronounce that word, but basically force his way into a circle um, with whom he believed he was excluded from. So he had this sense of, man, I might be royalty, but then he doesn't know if he's royalty. And they were saying how the illegitimate, ill, fuck it, you know what I'm trying to say. Motherfuckers who were born out of wedlock, and especially to those that not in the noble or the higher or the wealthy echelon, um, basically your ass was an outcast. You were a dark horse or a black sheep. You weren't even family. You was an outcast. Like you weren't even looked upon. So he had this mindset, like, damn, like this could be my fucking father. Let me just read this. I highlighted this, but if his father was the aristocratic Grimani, his parents could never wed. So Venetian nobility frequently had children out of wedlock, even as the rules of their society barred marriage to outsiders. It was no way he was going to be royalty if he was the son of this wealthy guy. It was no way, right? Let's get into why I'm bringing all of this up. Because genetics. Remember, I said Coach brung up these great points in his stream. Number one, or 4 reasons why people don't become successful, and I put do or don't become successful, and genetics is one. Why did I say that? So later on in the chapter, page 6, Casanova didn't start off. We have this image of Casanova being this romantic, I may have talked about it in chapter 1. He was a tall guy, 6'2", I believe. So he's a tall guy. Later in the chapter, they kind of describe his skin as dark, but he wasn't dark like me, but I'm thinking more olive. That's a term that I've heard many Italians or people of that region of the world, olive skin. So they looked at him as that skin complexion. He wasn't my skin complexion. So we always look at him as a suave, or, I'm not a Casanova, it's like a player, smooth guy and all that. But his upbringing didn't start like that. This dude had some sort of mystery fucking illness, man. The chapter didn't really go into fucking what the fuck it was, but this is how they kind of went right into it. In August 1733, everything changed as his organ of memory developed. And behold, I was standing in the corner of a room, leaning against the wall, holding my head and staring at the blood that was streaming to the floor from my nose. Like, what the fuck? That was weird to me. You're standing in the corner of a room, you're leaning against the wall, you're holding your head, and you're staring at blood coming out your nose, and it's on the floor. What the fuck? I thought that was weird. I was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't get that. Maybe I missed something. But so he had these mystery illnesses, like strange shit was happening to him as a youngster. I believe at one point they was describing him as a mute. He didn't speak and shit like that. I was like, damn, that's crazy, right? Let's move on a little bit. As a child, he never spoke, and he was considered something as an imbecile, destined for anonymity. I cannot pronounce that word. Please forgive me. Don't laugh. Whatever. Fuck you. Casanova, who eventually wrote 12 volumes of memoirs recalling people and events of his life in exquisite and engaging detail, maintained he had no memories of his first 8 years of his life. So this dude, he didn't speak. They looked at him as an imbecile. I'm like, damn. So these genetics, where did it come from? Did it come from his dad? Or did it come from the nobility guy? We don't know. But his genetics starting out in life was terrible, right? Terrible, so much so. His grandmother, just one day, but also let me look at this. Let me read this part. His grandmother, Marzia, whose pet I was. I highlighted that. It said whose pet I was. I didn't understand that. It came to me, washed my face with cold water and unknown to anyone in the house, boarded a gondola, which is like some sort of boat. I kind of researched that. And she took him to some foreign place, right? She then takes him to some old lady, and they described her as a witch, right? So this lady does some weird shit to him, put some sort of ointments and shit on him. Um, and something odd, they put this in quotes in a book. The witch rescued him and subjected him to numberless caresses. Oh shit. I forgot YouTube does that. Numberless caresses. I didn't know how to take this. So I told you I read this book about 10 years ago. I started it, but I didn't finish it, and I gave the book away. But 10 years later, here I am. I got the book. But that was something that sparked my interest. I was like, what does that mean? Numberless caresses. And I could be wrong, but this is how I interpreted it, as him being molested or abused in some sort of way. I didn't get that. But she did some sort of weird things to him, and his grandmother signed off on this shit. She signed off, and they did some weird shit. They put him in some sort of the grandmother gives him off to this witch. That's how they described it. And she does these things, and she put him in this case, a box, and she locked him in there. And the grandmother and the witch start singing, chanting. They start doing all these crazy things. How was this going to cure him? I have no fucking idea, right? I highlighted another part. She cautioned that his bleeding would diminish so long as he told no one about this treatment. Otherwise, he would bleed to death. Ultimately, a charming lady would visit him, and his happiness would depend upon her. Again, they put that in quotation. They did that in quotation. Happiness would depend upon her. I'm thinking this dude was abused. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm thinking this is something happening to this young dude, and he's going through some sort of sickness. But anyway, it goes on. I highlighted another section. After delivering a long discourse of which I understood nothing, and kissing me, she left as she had entered. So now he's recounting this experience, but it's kind of like, did it happen or did it not happen? It was just weird right there. That part was very weird. At the time, Casanova never spoke to anyone about this mystical incident. So that's why I was like, did it happen? Did it not happen? About this strange lady meeting him. It was very weird. I don't know. I have no fucking clue. That was something I didn't understand. But I'm gonna skip to the next part that I highlighted. It says the remedies for the worst diseases are not always found in pharmacy. He advised they might be found in the furthest reaches of the cosmos or the heart, despite the manifestation of a feminine sensuality that both saved his life and survived his intellect. He became more of a skeptic than a mystic. There have never been wizards on earth, he explained, only those able to cajole others into believing them such. I don't know. It was just, that was a little weird. That part right there. Um, um, After the treatment, Casanova appeared as hopeless as before. So they did all these things, and he still was fucking ill. Like, what the fuck? His genetics was just terrible. People felt sorry for me and left me alone. Everyone supposed I would not live long. My mother and father never spoke to me. So, man, here you go. You got this dude who's struggling with his identity in terms of, should he be a a part of the noble family? Is his dad wealthy? This dude dealing with illnesses. They look at him as an imbecile. His mama and his daddy. And remember how I said the parents standing in the world. They was broke, bro. They were broke. They were actors. His dad was a struggling actor. His mom, she getting roles, she getting gigs, but okay. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty weird right there. Pretty fucked up right there. But it says, nevertheless, his miraculously came to life. He miraculously came to life. The bleeding subsided. His mind began to churn in less than a month. He learned how to read. So things start to pick up for him. Um, uh, he had some brothers and sisters. I'm not going to really go into that part. I do want to go to the next part, which was or is his father eventually dies. Another thing, although his parents were struggling actors, if you will, they had some reach to um, very important people of means, which is what I want to go to next. Parents exposing you to options in life. That was the fourth point Coach made about the 4 reasons why people don't become successful or do. That's what I put as well. Number 4 was your parents exposing you to options in life, right? That is something key right here, because that's what happened for, and also it kind of relates to the place of birth as well. So Venice was a place, and I'm gonna skip just a little bit. So if you're following along with me, I'm just gonna switch to page 10. He was born in Venice, and Venice was described as a stronghold of commerce, combat, and mysticism. Right. So his place of birth is Venice, but then it says his dad is gonna eventually um, get become sick. I'll just read that part. 6 weeks later, a far greater disaster occurred. His dad, um, as Casanova describes, my father was attacked with an abscess inside his head at the level of the ear, which brought him to the grave in a week. So his father eventually died, um, but before he died, his dad did something very pivotal. I keep fucking with that word. Very monumental in his life, which was his parents exposing him to options in life. Here it is. 2 days before he died, his dad summoned his family and closest friends. Their ranks included Signor Grimani, the Venetian nobleman, reported to be Zanetta's lover. Okay, and also um, it also says that his dad made them vow to protect, and also, so it also seems as though his dad knew that he might not be the real father anyway. But his dad made them vow to protect his children, and as tears flowed, asked for more. He made our mother, Marzia, who dissolved in tears, swear that she would bring none of his children up for the stage, or which he would never have appeared if he had not been driven to it by an unfortunate passion. So she took the oath. She accepts the oath, all right? Um, who needed the income for his mom, who needed the income for stage career to feed her children. She became pregnant once again. She never married again. But where's the part where I wanted to bring up where he introduces him to, where is he? Please bear with me. I thought I highlighted it. I want to make sure I get his name correctly. I want to give him some goddamn recognition because he is very monumental in his life. Did I skip it? Oh my goodness. Where is it? If I could just go ahead and off my memory, I want to say this guy's name. I want to give him the proper response. Oh man. So eventually, essentially, oh man, I thought I highlighted it. What the fuck, man? He decided moving around. Oh man, I lost it, man. I'm sorry. Anyway, essentially, Casanova is vessels. Holy fucking cow. Here it is. Oh, wait. It just says a priest known to the family located. No. So essentially, he's connected with a priest, but I missed the part why he's connected to the priest. Uh, what the freak? He's connected. I'm just gonna go off memory with this one. So I'm talking about the parents exposing him to options in life. So Casanova, fuck, it's it's essential that I say this though. I really think it's important that I say it and I give the proper name to it. Arrived at Greenface. That's my friend. Put. Oh wait. A friend of his father, a poet and aristocrat by the name of Signor Bafo, determined that the boy should be sent to Padua. I know I'm mispronouncing that. Padua for treatment, and to whom, okay, um, but okay. So let me backtrack a little bit. So I told you his dad died, and before his dad died, he made his mom promise. His mom was supposed to take care of him. She had more kids along the way. She didn't marry. Mother's still in the street. She's doing her thing, you know. It says, beautiful and young as she was, she refused her hand to all who sued for it. Anyway, it says, as for Casanova, I was extremely weak and had no appetite, was unable to apply myself to anything and looked like an idiot. So it seemed like he got cured, but he didn't get cured. He was still dealing with that shit, whatever it was. He was still losing copious amounts of blood, uh, more, it seemed to his family than his small body could produce. Doctors arrived, grim faced. Um, okay, a friend of the family, a friend of his father, a poet and aristocrat. So his dad had connections, though. I was like, damn, that's crazy. But anyway, he's connecting him. His parents is pushing him. He has that little oomph to get to the right people. So a friend of his father, a poet and aristocrat by the name of Signor Bafo, determined that the boy should be sent to Padua, that's a city, for treatment, and to whom in consequence I owe my life. They have that in quotations. That's what I guess Signor is saying. A priest known to the family located a boarding house in the city Padua. I completed a year. I was okay. So he was taken to that city, and they served as floating parties and inspired an outpouring of literary appreciation. Goldoni, Byron, and Goethe. These names. That's not important. It is important, but I want to get to the part where I highlighted this part. Beginning to exercise his reason, he decided that it was possible. The son. Okay, so that was something personal that I wanted to highlight. How his philosophical mind was. So something was starting to churn for his guy. But I'm gonna just read this entire block right here. Maybe that can give me some insight. The journey over water lasted through the night. Blah blah blah. His mother. No, that's okay. That was more something intellectual or philosophical that I highlighted there. So this guy here is connecting him. Signor Bafo is connecting. He was a friend of the father, so he's connecting him. He's like, go to Padua, and this is important. And I was talking about the exposure part. Why am I saying that? Because this city, Padua, is a center of faith and learning, right? It was founded in 1222 as a school of law. The University of Padua had enjoyed a reputation of one of the most influential and largest institution of its kind in Europe. So, bam, that's important right there because now he's connected to the right sources, man. This dude here, the aristocrat, the friend of the father, was the token that bing, that thing that he needed to get there. So he's sick and he's going here, but this dude was like, yo, come over here where the medicine is, right? So I highlighted that. Versus Venice was a stronghold of commerce, combat, and mysticism. Versus you have the school of law where it's education is booming. And I even highlighted this part where it says Nicholas Copernicus studied medicine at the university. Galileo Galilei held the chair of mathematics from 1592 until 1610. So this is a place of wealth. I mean, intellectual wealth. They got medicine. I mean, this is the place that he needed. This is that part where and that's why I think why I put do. I know Coach in the stream, he said 4 reasons why people don't become successful. And I think that's why I put do or don't. Because that right there was pivotal. I keep fucking that fucking word. That was key to his life, man. That moment right there. That dude, Signor Bafo, changed his life, man. Changed his life. He was like, man, come on over here to this Padua. Changed his life. The place hummed with students, their debates, intellectual ferment, and protests. Slowly, young Casanova began to flourish. After his mother left, he stayed briefly at the home of the family friend named Ottaviani, whose wife gave me many caresses. Again, they put that in quotes. I don't know how to take that. I mean, you could take that kindly. I don't know. I'm assuming so. I have no idea. I don't know how to accept that. I have no idea. Because like, why would you put it in quotations? That's what that throws me off right there. The 5 or 6, I don't know. I didn't. But anyway, so I'll just speed it up just a bit. So he's starting to flourish, and so he's in this city. His mom left. I just said that right there. After his mother left, he stayed. So his mom was there. Okay, cool. She leaves. She once again, his mom was in the streets. That was her life. So she left, and he's here in the city. And then they kind of talk about his life in this city. So they left him with this. They call it a landlord. This lady. She was how did they Slovenian woman. And they also say, regrettably, his stay there was brief, but he was soon assigned to the home of an old Slovenian woman who lived 50 paces away and viewed her young lodger as a convenient source of income. So she was a slumlord, basically. If I can just speed it up a little bit, she was a slumlord. She didn't really take care of him. They were paying her to take care of him, like house him for lodging and stuff like that. She did a slum job. She was terrible. I mean, his clothes was dirty. It was an awful experience. But this dude here, they said she was tall too. I gotta go to Slovenia. Hey, what a white women. They described her as having masculine features. But he stood up to her, though. He stood up to her. Um, he didn't like, that was something noble about this young dude. He's going through all of these things and he's going through these changes. He stood up for himself because he spoke up. He was like, hey, he wrote a letter. It was a very interesting situation where he spoke up for himself, like, yo, I had enough. And he wrote his grandmother and told her about it. He told his teacher about the situation. His teacher came in, and it was an interesting scenario. But I mean, this dude was flourishing though. He was starting to become very intellectual. I mean, he started to become great. I mean, not great, but he started to become himself. Like his the exposure to this place began to get him to be, he started eating, and he was starting to get nourished and things of that nature. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. um and then also they talk about some of the key elements about how mentally his grandmother would give him a silver spoon service, and he mentally had that mindset, and the slumlord was like, nah, you gonna eat from a wooden spoon. And so he was kind of standing up to the Slovenian woman, like, like, nah, you gonna treat me with a little respect. And not respect, I wouldn't say it that way, but he was like, this ain't right. And he started speaking up to his teachers, and he got his grandma involved. Things kind of changed, but then it was still he was still in the same situation. Um, this is the name that I was looking at right here. But let me see. I don't want to miss anything. I'm gonna just read this chapter, this little part right here. And then it was time to meet his teacher, a priest by the name of Antonio Maria Gazzi, destined to spend the entirety of his career in posts near Padua. Casanova's landlady paid the priest a pittance to instruct the new arrival. Dr. Ghazi was all of 26. This is a very important name. This is the name I was looking for. I was speeding through it. Signor Baffo got him there, but now he has this teacher, Dr. Ghazi, who is his teacher, who's really monumental in his life. At 9, Casanova appeared. He still seemed slow, but he was gathering himself. So Dr. Ghazi placed him in with the 5-year-olds learning to write. The children, of course, your peers, laughing. When you seem like you slow, or if you supposed to be in the 8th grade and you in the class with 6th graders, motherfuckers gonna laugh and blah blah blah. But they mocked him. Let's keep it simple. They mocked his ass for that. But Casanova with the mind, he was like, yo, you're in the same state as I am. They were, talking about his clothes and stuff. You remember he had the slumlord. So they were doing all these things to him. But this dude was, he was lacking, but he had that thing. Something in him was like, yo, like, he was still pushing forward, man. He just, I don't know, it just something started clicking for him. So his teacher, Dr. Ghazi, I'm trying to speed through it. Dr. Ghazi notices that his learning abilities start picking up. So much so his teacher was like, "Yo, you got it. I wish I had that part for you guys." By months in, I was writing so well that he set me to grammar. He rapidly matured physically, no less than intellectually, and began to thrive. So he's thriving. The new life I was leading, the hunger I was forced to endure, all above the air of Padua brought me such health as I had never conceived of before. So, it just took some time, just a little time for things to start clicking for him, and all of a sudden, man, he started thriving, man. The dude was moving, man. So much so, his Dr. Ghazi appointed him a proctor or monitor of the students, right? Um, he's moving and thriving. And the reason why I was looking for Dr. Ghazi's name is very important. It's very essential. That's why I was looking for names. I try to say names because they're very important, and I'll get to that in just a second. But I just want to clear this up. So he's rapidly intellectually growing. Like I said, he's starting to eat. His body is starting to change. He's starting to grow, and he's still a young dude, man. I don't think he was no more than a teenager at best, a young adult. He was no older than 16. I think he was way younger than that. He wasn't even a teen. He was like maybe 12, something like that. I wish I had the actual, it's here. I didn't highlight it, but he was young, and his intellectually, he started growing fast. Like, right, check this out. So his teacher puts him as a proctor over the other students, and so now this is the clever side of him starting to peek out. He started to manipulate the students, and the students they say, hey, hold on, and so they told the teacher. The teacher was like, okay, but the teacher didn't like punish him in the sense of like, okay, you evil and all of that. He kind of shifted that thing in him. He still saw some greatness in him, so he moved him to something else. I wish I had that part. Here it is. The priest relieved Casanova of his duties as proctor, but continuing to see the possibility of good in him, proposed a scheme to free the lad from the horrid Slovenian landlady and board him instead. So he still saw some good in him. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you in. And he took him in as his own, in his family, in his home. All he had to do was write to Signor Baffo and his mother to petition the change. His mama wasn't really active, so that's why I was like, he reached out to his grandmother and said, hey, told him the situation with the landlord, the landlady, and so his grandmother came. I'm trying to catch up to it because I want to get to that part about the name Dr. Ghazi. So his grandmother comes, and it was some little spit spat there. So anyway, his grandmother instructed the boy to pack his things because they were going away. He brought her silver service with him, evidence of neglect. She took him in to an inn where he amazed her with his ravenous appetite. So he's eating, like he's starting to grow. Like everybody's like, whoa, like what the fuck? It's like they were just amazed, man. So Dr. Ghazi, that was his teacher, materialized, and they entered brief negotiation concerning the boy's future. Terms 24 zecchini, I'm guessing that's money of some sort, for years of lodging, which he received a receipt. She wasn't done with the grandson just yet, so she spent some time with him. I highlighted this, so I'll go ahead and read this part. She spent the next 3 days obtaining clothes for him to wear as an abate or priest in training. So the doctor, he was some sort of priest, and so now Casanova is in the training of the priesthood of some sort. So they talk about his clothing style. He wore black. He came from that landlady. His hair was matted. They were just talking about his appearance. Even though he was going for priesthood, he was looking terrible. Matted hair, so on and so forth. That's very important, and I'll bring it up. I'm telling you, I'm bringing it up, Dr. Ghazi. All right, so. Strange as the family's choice of career for the boy seemed, he faced limited options. The child of two actors, he had no place in society. There would be no fortune inherit, and that was we were talking about the genetics and parents standing in the world, all of that. They had no estate to manage, no heirs to wed. Venetian law and custom forbade his marrying the aristocrat. He could become a tradesman, a cobbler, for instance, like his grandfather. As a priest, in contrast, he would avoid penury. Please forgive me. And if he became intellectually accomplished, he might make a name for himself. There would be an honor in the family's giving of a child to the church. So basically, they're giving him to the church. He's going into the priesthood. Like yo, you could be a cobbler, you could do this. But I was like, yo, the parents standing in the world, your parents were actors. Let's give you to the priesthood, right? Zanetta wrote this talking about his mom. His mom was an actor, but she's getting word that, and then they said this: can you imagine my comfort in 20 or 30 years from Now I know you will be a bishop. So his mom is like, oh wow, okay, like all right, wow, I'll be impressed if you do become a bishop. All right, so here we go. Before I do that, yes, okay. This is why I was looking so diligently for the name Dr. Uh, Ghazi, right? This is very important, right? So he's taking them in. He is taking them in. They got the negotiations and all that. He's taking them in. Now he's going to meet Dr. Ghazi's family. In preparation for his new life stage, in preparation for this new stage in his life, Casanova joined Dr. Ghazi's little family. His mother, ugly, old, and ill-tempered. His father, who worked all day and never spoke to anyone except for his occasional outings to a tavern from which he invariably returned wild and drunk. Okay, that's not the part that I want you to know. I want you to know that. And the priest's younger sister. This is the part where since I've read this is the part that I think I'm going to make my argument. This is the part where he becomes who we say Casanova is, meaning, let me just say it in the aspect of this. This is where Casanova gets his red pill. For those who don't know what the red pill, I'm not going to explain it. Of course, we got the manosphere, all this blah blah blah. Let's just keep it's where we can all agree and understand. This is the person, Dr. Ghazi's younger sister. She's the one who awakens him to the nature of women. This is the person who I gave him the red pill, meaning introduced him to the nature of women. Let me explain. And as men, we all have those experiences. I've had those experiences, but it took me longer. This one, remember, he's still a young dude. I want to say he's like an early teen, like 12, 13. He's a young dude, and he's been awakened to the nature of women. Why do I say that? Here we go. This is the part, right? Her name, Dr. Ghazi's younger sister. Remember, Dr. Ghazi is a priest, and now Casanova is like in a priesthood. He's becoming a priest. So he's in a training and all of that. So Dr. Ghazi's young sister, her name is Bettina. She's 13. So that means Casanova is younger than 13. She's older. They describe her as pretty, lighthearted, and a reader of romances. We got to talk about these women who be reading these romance novels. Yo, I have to figure out what the fuck they read. I hear they read smut like a motherfucker, and I want to read it. I want to understand. I want to know what the fuck they go through. When I was 12 and 13, I wasn't reading romance novels. I wasn't reading that type of shit. To be honest with you, I was outside playing basketball. We had marbles and all that goofy shit. We was doing shit like that. We wasn't reading romances and shit. So I want to know. I want to read what they read. I told you, reading is one of the things I think I like. Or not think. I really do enjoy it. It helps me mentally and just, I don't know. I find peace in it right now. I really do. And I don't want to get sidetracked. We'll talk about that at the end. And then, whatever. So, and then they said the following sentence, she became Casanova's first love. As men, we've all had that first fucking love, man. Let me tell you about this experience Casanova had. And he awakened. He awakened. That I mean, this dude was moving, his mind was moving. He was getting it. He was, I mean, intellectually, he started to get things, man. Let me continue. It was she who little by little kindled in my heart the first sparks of a feeling which later became my ruling passion. Wow, that's all so poetic and all that good stuff. I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty, man. I'm not gonna belabor the point here. But I'm trying not to miss. It's so much goodness in here, man, and I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to fucking miss these great points. There's so many great points, but I'll just let's just cut it right there. Let's just get it right into that point right there. So this chick here, she's his first love, right? I'm gathering that he wasn't really sexually there, but she was. And why do I say that? Because she's reading these romances, right? And then there's this person that comes involved in, there's this third wheel, if you will, this third person. So Casanova likes, but Tina playing a little games. She running games, but she a fast little something, little fast little tail, right? The person that comes in the game, um, his name is uh, where is it? It's like Candy. Please forgive me once again, man. Candiani, Candiani. Excuse me. So he's a bit older, or he's about her age. They're in the teenage stage, right? So Casanova's first love. I'm just gonna speed through it and get to the point. Casanova is this young dude. He got this first love, and he doesn't know what to do. I don't think puberty has set in just yet. So he's kind of timid around her. He's doing all these little boyish things. Meanwhile, she's experienced in a sense. So she's reading novels and romances and all of this good stuff. She's there, right? But there's also this guy named Candini, and he's seen as a brute. So here you got Casanova, the intellectual guy, but then she likes the bad boy, the brute, the uneducated guy, right? All right. So there came a little scene where she was trying to give Casanova some play, but he's not there yet, right? So it didn't work. It didn't work out. The little bedroom scene. The Dr. Ghazi was gone. Nobody was there, so it was just them two. And the sexual thing, it didn't work out, right? So Casanova's like, okay, all right, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again. I think I know it. He's like, okay, I think I know what I'm supposed to do, right? And so she faded him out. She faded him out. He like, dang, okay. And so it was like one night or early morning, some shit like that. He was like, man, he was writing her letters and shit, but she didn't respond to the letters and shit like that. But anyway, I'm trying to get to the point. The point is, he goes to her room. So, I guess to romance her, whatever, he went to her room. The door locked, right? Guess who in the fucking room? Candini. Candini was beating them cheeks. He was clapping them cheeks, right? I don't know. I think Casanova busted in the door, something like that, to the point to where it awakens her mom, and so they didn't catch the boy and the girl together, but Casanova knows the truth, right? So this is that moment he's like, oh shit, this bitch him fucking, you know, he like, God damn, like, okay, right? So he gets that red pill moment. He's like, oh shit, okay, this bitch fucking, right? So the mom is awakened, like, what the fuck is going on, right? This is where it gets even stranger. I told you this little girl is promiscuous, and but she's clever. And this is where he's learning. Casanova just sitting back, learning, watching this shit. He's watching all of this shit happen. So the girl goes into this panic, or this. This is where I wanted to get all of the details. I want to give you all the. She acts like she's so possessed with demons and shit like that. Has all these panic attacks, and she's doing all this acting. You know, she's doing all this craziness, right? Going through craziness, doing all sorts of shit, right? And so, you know, her Dr. Ghazi is a priest. He can't help. Nobody can help, right? So the family, they bring. Remember, Casanova already knows what the deal is. He's like, this bitch was fucking. She got caught, and so now, like women, they don't take accountability. They got to play the victim. They got to get out of they're bull in the china shop. They got to ruin they got to do all of these things to avoid being seen for who they fucking really are, right? So she's playing this thing like she's possessed, and she's doing all these things, right? So they invite this one priest in, and she's giving this motherfucker hell. This dude gives up. He's like, fuck it. I ain't no helping this bitch. Oh, you can see I'm on the dark side, baby. You can see I should have had the camera like this. I'm on the dark side. I'm like Casanova. I'm on the dark side now, man. I just want to know what the fucking deal. So they invite this one priest, the first priest. This guy here, he gave up. He's like, man, I can't help this bitch, right? So she plays like she gets a little bit better, but then she spazzes out again later. And so they invite another priest. This priest here, he's like 30 something, right? Check this out. So this priest, he's good looking. He's in his 30s, I believe, or 20s, maybe 20s. Damn, this is why I wanted to have this shit ready. I'm going to do better next time and write out this. But it's so much greatness in this book, man. It's like I want to write everything, but I have to figure out what the details is. But anyway, this guy here, he comes along. This is like maybe the second or third priest. I don't remember. But he comes along. He's good looking, right? And so he's supposedly helping her, right? They go off, and it's just them two. Everything's quiet. And then he leaves. She's healed. She in these streets, man. Casanova, once again, Casanova already knows what the deal is. He's just sitting there like, wow, this bitch here. He like, yep, she got clapped out, got them cheeks beat up by the priest. Watch these fucking priests, man. These preachers, these pastors, I'm telling you, man, these dudes are some, man, they just a man. That's all. They just another fucking man. Watch it, man. I'm telling you guys, watch that shit. I'm on the dark side, man. I'm learning, bro. I'm learning. It took me a long time. Casanova learned this at a young age. I'm learning it. I'm 40 years old, and I'm learning it now, man. That's crazy. Man, these dudes, man, these preachers, man, they not right, bro. This young girl was getting clapped out by this dude, man. Casanova just sitting there. He watching the whole thing. He just like, and then he knows the truth, and he's like he'll whisper some bullshit, and he was like, yeah, I know. He whispered in her ear one time. He's like, yeah, I know what you're doing, bitch. I know, but your secret is good with me. I'm not gonna tell nobody, but I know, bitch. Oh man, I said all that to say because there was one key word that I wanted to say. Right now, we've been on for 1 hour and 14 minutes. I wanted to introduce a fucking word. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Man. Wow, man. I mean, this dude here, man. He was learning, man. I guess I can go from right here. Bettina slept continually, blah, blah, blah. Oh, one thing I wanted to talk about in this book, which was odd to me that I brought up. So Bettina, she was kind of playing some games with him because she wanted him to go to a party, and they're still teenagers now, or kids, or whatever you want to call it. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah, yeah, man. That's the part where Casanova he knew the truth. They said, I even highlighted it, said Casanova laughed so hard that Capuchin, that's one of the priests or whatever, ordered the boy out of the room. I mean, Casanova knew. He was like, I'm this bitch here wild. He knew, man. But I brought up this part here. I wanted to share this. I didn't get this part. The Ghazi household resumed its peaceful ways. Was after she got her cheeks beat in. No. So that was the second guy, the Capuchin guy. He gave up. So Dr. Ghazi, I'll just read this part. Dr. Ghazi household resumed its peaceful ways. Bettina slept contentedly and appeared at the dinner table to join her family, as if nothing had happened. She did all of this acting and shit, right? She talked of attending a ball the following day, and she expected Casanova to keep his word and go with her dressed as a girl. That part right there, she was planning to dress his hair in the morning and ignoring his advice to rest and remain calm after the ordeal she had endured. I didn't understand that part. She wanted him to go to a party, but dressed as a girl. We got to talk about this, man. Why not just Bettina, but our society? Why does our society feel the need to feminize men? I don't know what the New World Order's position is. What do they gain from feminizing men? Now, I can see if he had shown some sort of interest in that direction. What do I mean? I thought about this, like the movie, the show Power. Not Power. Is it Power? The show with Terrence Howard and Cookie and the three sons. I think it was called Empire. It's called Empire, right? The second son, I believe, they had showed this clip where Cookie went to jail, and it was Lucius taking care of the boys. And the second son, they was at some sort of house party, and the second son, he's with the adults, but I mean, he's a little boy, but he was dressed up as a woman in front of the adults. That is an example of a young boy expressing or showing that side or an interest or some sort of inkling in that direction, right? I'm not saying I'm for or against that. That's not my position. My point of saying this is that little boy had did something different, showed some sort of interest in women's clothing, dressing up as a woman, so on and so forth, right? That's an example of that. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm just stating the facts. Casanova, on the other hand, didn't have no interest in dressing up as a woman. He showed none of those signs. And there was another part in here where Bettina, this wasn't the first time she said that. The first time she said it, and the family laughed. They laughed at it. And I was like, what's funny? What's funny? Again, I don't care what your preference is or what you choose to do. If you want to be cross-dressing femboys, that's what you want to do. That's fine. But if you are a man who doesn't choose to do those things, why is there this inkling to make a man that doesn't choose to do those things, why make him do that? Like in acting. Cat Williams talked about that. He's like, he ain't wear no dress. Why is there this thing to make a man wear a dress? I don't know. That's very interesting that happened, and it was just kind of glossed over, like, But I'm like, why? He didn't show any interest in that. Why would you do that? Why would our society do that? So it happened then, and it's still happening today. Why is this happening? What's the intent behind that? You know, why would Hollywood want to feminize a man who's not that's not what he's asking for? That's, why would they do that? Why would Bettina, and multiple times, she didn't just say it once, it was twice. This is the second time that she did that. This was the second time, because remember, but then they say to keep his word and go with her dressed. She expected him to keep his word. I don't know. That was just something odd. I have to go back in there. I wish I can. I don't know, man. That's just something weird. I don't know. But the first time the family laughed at it. Yeah, that was weird. I didn't get that. I don't know why society does that. I don't know. It's something there. I don't know what it is. I just don't understand, why would someone make or allow or pursue or have someone dress as a girl and they're not asking for that? I don't know. Maybe I misread something. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Whatever. So I'll just read what I highlighted. As if nothing had happened, she talked about tending the ball, and she expected Casanova to keep his word and go with her dressed as a girl. She was planning to dress his hair in the morning, ignoring his advice to rest and remain calm. After the ordeal she endured, that's when she was spazzing out like she had the demons in her. Alone in his room that night, he found a note concealed in his nightcap. Either come to the ball with me dressed as a girl. She's persistent. Either come to the ball with me dressed as a girl, or I will show you something that will make you cry. But he replied that he would not attend. See, so he's standing his ground. He's like, no, I don't want to do that. But she's persistent. Why? Why is that? Why is that? Why pursue? Why does she want him to dress as a girl? I don't get that. Like, why? Why? Women, why would you want to feminize a man that doesn't want to do this? He's standing his ground. He's saying he does not want to do this. Why feminize him? Why? That's from just standing back and from a rational mindset or a reasonable mindset. I'm like, wouldn't you want him to be the man to protect you? Don't you want masculinity? Why feminize him? I don't know. I don't know. I'm very interested in understanding that, because he's like, no, I don't want to do that, and she's come to the party with me as a girl. What the fuck? He's not showing himself to be a female. He's not showing himself or showing interest as in any of that activities. I don't know. That was something very interesting. But then it says in the morning she resumed her demonic ranting, and Dr. Ghazi prepared to consult another exorcist, the eminent Father Mancia, who made a striking impression. This is the guy right here, tall and majestic. His age was about 30 years, blonde hair, blue eyes. They spent hours together praying and meditating, and by the end, she appeared to be cured. Even better, she wrote Casanova a note claiming that she stopped speaking to Candiani since the fatal night that made me wretched. That's the part I was like, yo, that dude fucked. He fucked. It is you alone that I owe my life and honor. So now she hitting him with the bullshit. Casanova was sitting here looking up. He's listening to all of this. Casanova's like, I see it. There was no turning back. Casanova was like, I see that shit. Casanova detected unparalleled effrontery, I don't know, in an effort to bind me in her chains again, where she had learned her wiles. He's like, where this bitch get all this shit from? This is kind of going in. He's acknowledging, like, bitch, I know. He's like, I'll just read it. I'll read the part that I highlighted. She had stifled the seed of a beautiful passion in an instant, meaning the humiliating, infuriating kick he'd received from, the dude kicked him the night that he exposed him. The dude kicked him. Yeah. Since then, he despised her. Finally, he forgave her. He eventually forgives her, and he even gained an appreciation of her intelligence. So he's like, man, this bitch is clever. Like, bitch, like, wow. He's getting this knowledge. He's getting an insight on female behavior. This is him speaking in quotes. I was its dupe, but no matter. It exists. It is an amazing divine. I admire it. I love it. He requested that she treat him the same with respect and friendship, for I can love only if I am of being loved without a rival. Bettina insisted she never loved Candiani and convulsed in tears. So she's begging and pleading, please, Casanova, like, baby, just we cool, baby. Let's just be cool. Let's just be cool. Let's just be friends, man. She trying to get him. He like, nah, I got it. He got that red pill. He figured that shit out. That was a word that I wanted to talk about. Here it is. I'll read the entire part that I highlighted. She recovered slowly those angry red spots. And this is when she was supposedly became getting sick again. Or the most deceitful, Casanova thought, and he was troubled by the handsome Father Mencia. I tell you that the way that maybe I should read this. Go back. Let me read this. I'm telling you, man, this I was so involved. I was like, oh, this shit juicy, man. Because it's like, yo, this dude is learning red pill shit. I'm learning this shit and I'm 40, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Maybe it was already presented itself in my life, but I just didn't intellectually grasp it. I didn't understand it. I still didn't see it per se. He's seeing it. Anyway, maybe I did see it. I don't know. I'm seeing it now. Let me read this part, and then I'm gonna get to this last word that I want to talk about, and then that's gonna be the end of the stream, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in for this long motherfucker. I enjoy this shit. I gotta get better at it. Anyway, let me read this, and we'll talk about that at the end. This is Casanova saying, what she had just told me was plausible. Casanova decided, and flattering, but I had seen too much. I just said that. He's seen too much. He was like, he's seen too much. I mean, the bitch put on a show. And then she's still putting on a show. baby, I love you. He's nothing. He's nothing. Still putting on the show. He like, baby, I see you. I see you. My man was on it, man. My man was on it. Let me get to this. The spectator of Candiani still hung over them both. Bettina wove an elaborate tale of half truths about how she planned to set matters right with Candiani and her family. They say that I am bewitched and that demons had taken control of me. I know nothing about such things, but if it is true, I am the most wretched girl alive, or the most deceitful, Casanova thought. And he was troubled by the handsome Father Mancia. See, even he knows something up. See, they didn't say that in the text, but I know something up. I will tell you that I will tell you that the way your devils prefer that the handsome monks exorcisms to those of the ugly Capuchin, do you no honor? He warned. He sees it. I see it. I see it now. I'm like, bro, because the first one you didn't do you didn't come up off of that bullshit. Once again, he already knows, bitch, you faking. He's like, you bitch, I see you, bitch, you got caught, right? So now you got this blonde hair, blue eyed, tall guy. You got this guy come in. Y'all spend time together. Y'all meditate. Y'all doing all this shit, and now you cured. Casanova, my man. All right, here's the part. Let me read this last part, and then I'll tell you about the word that I am very. Let's get in. I will get into it. She recovered slowly. The angry red spots marring her skin for a full year. This once beautiful girl marred a humble shoemaker. Piggy also a base scoundrel who brought her to poverty. Okay, so this is kind of further along the line. So he eventually he comes across her again later in life. She's not doing well health wise, and then she eventually falls ill. I found Bettina old, ill, and dying, he wrote, and she perished the following day, remembered mostly by Casanova, who had loved her and scorned her. So he sees her later on in life. That was it. But this is the part I highlighted. I did highlight that part, but this is the other part. So began his education and love in women. This is my beginning of my education of love in women. I already know love. Forget the love shit. That shit is non-existent. That shit is. I see with Casanova. I had seen too much, and I haven't seen nearly none. I'm learning. That's what's important. I'm learning through wisdom. I'm learning through coaches' teachings. Man, I'm telling you, fellas, check out CoachGregAdams, man. Check out this guy, man. Check out this guy. Free agent lifestyle for life. Shout out to the coach gang too. Check out this guy. Check out his locals stream. That's where check out the dude is showing receipts. The dude, I'm on the dark side now, man. Because I see it. I haven't seen nowhere near what Casanova has seen. I have not seen nowhere near what Coach has seen, but I'm seeing through them the receipts. I'm like, oh, okay. And now I can piece together some things. I'm like, oh, okay. Now that makes sense why that happened the way it happened. Oh, okay. Now it's all coming. Now it's starting to click. It's all starting. How Casanova was when he was a youngster and things started to click for him and he started to gather. I'm now at that beginning stage and I'm 40 fucking years old. It's now starting to click for me, man. I'm like, wow, okay. I make mistakes. I'm still learning, but I'm like, wow, okay. Oh, wow. And it's so many levels. It's so many levels to this, man. That's the mind blowing thing. Cause it's like, you think you had know it all? Nah. Coach's last local stream, I'm telling you guys, catch that fucking stream, his local stream, man. Catch his streams, catch his local streams, the money mindset stream. I'm telling you, man. I mean, I'm catching I was listening to some of his stream this morning because I missed. I'm in Houston, so I had to fly from Wyoming to Denver to Houston, and so I missed the morning stream, but I caught a little bit of it. But I'm gonna catch. I'm a part of the replay game too, so I catch the replays. And he's talking about some of the things he was talking about. I hadn't finished watching the whole thing, but how these married men are unhappy. Where's that love? Where's that fucking love that these motherfuckers talking about? Huh? I told you, man. I think it was the last stream I had a little rant about these married men, dog. These motherfuckers are lying, bro. These motherfuckers are miserable, bro. Some of them, I mean, some of them got their balls in the goddamn jaw. I mean, talking about Bettina asking Buddy to dress like a girl. Man, you got these goddamn wives just taking their husbands' balls. Just give me that shit. They making these motherfuckers do chores. They making these motherfuckers chase the pussy. And they making these motherfuckers do all these crazy. I'm like, bro, where's the love that you motherfuckers are talking about? Truth be told, you motherfuckers don't like that bitch. Man, it's so many layers to this shit. That's why I'm like, this love shit, man, get the fuck out of here, man. That shit is a fairy tale, man. They sold us a dream on that bullshit, man. I grew up listening to the R&B, man. That simp music, man. Just man, and that shit had me going, man. You gotta put that woman first and all this goofy ass shit. I'm like, nah, man. That's some bullshit, bro. I said it at the beginning of the stream. Don't follow no woman. You don't follow no woman. She don't know where the fuck she going. She not a leader. Like, there's so many layers to this shit. That's why that's why I love this chapter, man. I was like, yo, it's so much to talk about, man. I think what I'll have to do is pick one or two topics and just talk about that rather than going through the entire chapter or trying to go through the entire chapter. Let me know what you think. Excuse me. Let me know what you think, man. Let me know what you think. If you prefer me going through the entire chapter or picking certain things to talk about. I think what I'll do is attempt that on the next chapter, find some key points and just talk about those points. With that said, let me talk about this last point. I said that earlier. This is the last thing I want to talk about. I'm going to read what I have. I'm not going to read the entire thing because that might be too much, but I'm going to stop it where the word that has interest me and I am on that path. And this is talking about Casanova. So began his education in love and women, right? So that's my education. So is my beginning of my education in love and women. We know what love, we know it, but women. This is my education of women, man. Like I didn't have a father. You know, my experiences are. I've had some experiences, you know, but I didn't understand. I didn't have anyone to break that shit down and just educate me about that. That's why I'm like, yo, if you struggling too, fellas, man, holla at Coach, man. Coach, I'm telling you, Coach background, he's been around women, man. He's been around women. He understands them. He understands the nature. And not saying that he don't go through no bullshit. I'm telling you, check out that local stream. He put on a master class. Like, man, I was like, yo, like mathematics. I love mathematics, right? So, you know, you got college algebra, you got trigonometry, geometry, all that shit, whatever, however your curriculum is. You got calculus 1, 2, 3, right? My man went beyond that shit. He went to some differential equations type shit. He went beyond. I was like, yo, he broke that shit down, man. I mean, yo, here is my education of loving women. I know I said I was going to get to the point. This is amazing, bro. Let me continue. They were his shadow self. They were his shadow self, his ruling passion. Wow. I don't know about my ruling passion. I don't know about that part. He would dedicate his life to trying to understand everything about women. I don't want to dedicate my life to understanding everything about them. I want to understand. And they're not going to tell me per se, but I learned through Coach. Okay. Here's the word right here. Long and I ain't mean to, how Coach said this on the locals. I'm a long stroke you pause. I ain't mean a long stroke you pause. But here's the word that I'm very intrigued. I don't know. I had to look up this word and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm on that shit. He would become a libertine. What the fuck is a libertine? I'm glad you fucking asked. Let me get the full definition for you, yo. Libertine. Uh-oh. It's supposed to be some thunderstorms in Houston. Oh, my goodness. I got to get out of here, man. Don't hold me back, baby. Don't hold me back. I'm trying to get out of here. I got some shit I'm trying to do. All right, so here's the word.
Libertine.
Libertine. All right. A libertine as a noun, is a person, especially a man, who behaves without moral principles or a sense of responsibility, especially in sexual matters. Right? They also have it as a noun, and they have it too as a description or the noun. So they have two definitions. A person who rejects accepted opinions in matters of religion, a free thinker. As an adjective, they describe it as characterized by a disregard of morality, especially in sexual matters. And then as an adjective, as for the second definition, they have it as free thinking in matters of religion. I am there right now. I'm right there right now. That's very pivotal. I keep fucking that word up today. God damn it. That it's a very powerful word for me, man. I was like, yo, that's where the fuck I am, man. A person, especially a man, I'm a man, I claim to be a man, who behaves without moral principles. Now, here's the thing. My second degree was in philosophy, man. One of the courses we had to take was moral philosophy. And Coach talks about this too, man. And this is becoming this libertine. I'm not saying I'm wealthy. I will be wealthy one day, someday in the future. I'm building my mental wealth, and I'm on my path, right? However, in the past, being a brokey, my way of, or how I thought I would get women was through my morals or being a good man. I reject the moral bullshit. Why? Morals, I'm on the dark side. Your morals versus my morals versus their morals versus this morals, who the fuck is right? Whose morals are we following? And then some people be like, religion, libertine. As a libertine, you are a free thinker in matters of religion. Characterized by a disregard of morality, especially in sexual matters, a person who rejects accepted opinions in matters of religion, a free thinker. People, you want to use these ideas of morality as this guide to follow. But I gave you instances or examples in Casanova's life of these moral people, these priests Let's not even talk about the priest, Casanova's mom. The chapter is titled after her, but she's doing immoral activity. She's in the streets. Casanova don't even know who his goddamn daddy is. So you want me to follow what? What moral principle? Whose moral principle? You know, that's why I was like, yo, like, and not saying that I just started this, because I've been rejected religion, man, in the past. I've rejected that. This is the part where I'm just ranting or just sharing some experiences about being a free thinker. I was with my mom today, man. You know, like I said, I'm from that age, and I finally saw my mom today and my grandma. You know, and I took them out to eat, and I was busy. I don't know, something just was off, man. I was like, in terms of the dinner, the lunch was great, but meaning I had kept going back and forth to the little stand. I forgot to get a fork. I forgot to get ketchup. I just kept going back and forth. But I finally got everything, and I sat down, and I just started eating. And my mom was like, "We bless our food." And I looked at her like, "Okay," and I'm eating. She was like, "But we," and I was like, "Okay," like what? I'm like, I'm not stopping you from doing whatever you need to do. I'm eating, and they laughed. But she was like, "But we like to pray up. We thank him for our food and all our blessing our food." I'm like, who is he? I'm like, who the fuck is he? I ain't say the fuck, but I was like, who is he? Morals, like, I don't follow you. You tried to put me in your category. I'm like, that's what you do. I don't know who he is, and I'm hungry. I'm in my mind, I'm like, I don't do what you do. This is the food right here. Just eat. I paid for the lunch. I'm thankful you're here. We have food. We're safe. I'm seeing you after so many years. Let's just eat. Morals. Who are we to? I'm a free thinker. I'm not supposed to follow your religion. A libertine. Like, yo, like, I'm okay with being a free thinker. I'm okay with um behaving without moral principles. I'm okay with that. Like, who's to say your morals are acceptable? Who's to say? And then if we even go into the law, that's even complicated, because now we see it's those who are in power control this bullshit than the morals and the law. I'm like, they are the motherfuckers that's breaking the laws that they're creating, or the morals for you, or a sense of responsibility, principles, or a sense of responsibility. And that part is a little bit confusing. Who behaves without moral principles or a sense of responsibility? Now, I don't understand what that means, but I looked at some of the similar words. Now, this is what I don't agree with. Now, they have a lot of similar words like philanderer, ladies' man, playboy, Romeo, seducer, stud, player, wolf, all this, skirt chaser. No, I'm not claiming any of that. Let's get that straight. That's not what I'm about, because I already know that's going to lead to a road of destruction for myself. Chasing women, I just said that earlier. With Casanova's dad. I was like, don't follow no woman, man. Don't follow no woman. Do not follow no woman. You lead. You live your life. You lead. And so for me, I perceive a guy who's chasing skirts as a man who's not on his purpose, because he's chasing that, as opposed to him having the power, the leverage, the options They gonna be chasing you. So that part, I don't. The synonyms or the words that's similar, I don't agree with those words. I'm keeping it straightforward. I'm keeping my guide on this straightforward, meaning, and then also they said a sense of responsibility is especially in sexual matters. Now that part, I don't. The wording is off because as a man, I'm still responsible, man. As engaging in sexual affairs with women, as a man, I know now that I have to be responsible. I gotta be responsible. I was talking to somebody today, and they were telling me about a situation. I was like, man. He was like, yeah, I ain't doing that. I was like, yeah, that's not responsible. I have to be responsible for myself and also this person, because that woman can always play the victim. We see it all the time. They play the victim. We just saw it right here with Bettina playing the victim. Oh no, I'm cursed by the demon. Playing the victim. She out there, she getting fucked. But she playing the victim. So now, so the wording from this definition, I don't fully agree with, but the context of rejecting the opinions of matters of religion, I agree with. Being a free thinker, I agree with. Characterized by a disregard of morality, especially in sexual matters. So if we're talking about what is lust, if you're using your moral card to say, okay, this is good, this is bad, I don't agree with that. I disregard that shit. I'm like, nah. If what you're feeling is, I was on TikTok, and let me get the actual context of the conversation. I got time. I'm just chilling. Hopefully my flight does come tomorrow, man. I really do, man, because that's gonna fuck up everything. And I hope that doesn't. And maybe I should have got the insurance on my flight. But I hope that's not the fact. I hope that's not the. Let me see if I can get this message, and then that'll be it for today. I probably won't find it. Let's see if I can find it. This is on TikTok, and this guy, he responded, because I made a little comment, and people make comments all the time, and they try to be smart and say some little goofy shit back, but I end up walking the little dude. It was a young dude. Walked him right into it. Ah, man, I forgot where. It's not going to even show. That's crazy. Anyway, the young dude was trying to. I forgot what it was, but he was like, "You gooning." I was like, because he called me Unc. He's like, "Unc, you gooning," and I was like, I'm old. I'm 40, so I was like, "Nephew, I'm Unc." No, I said I'm Unc. Nephew, I don't know what gooning is. What that mean? Something like that. I said something along the lines. And so he was like, you lusting or something like that. And then I had to put him in check. I was like, nephew, that's everybody. And I put that laughing emoji. He didn't respond at all. I said all that to say, it's like, bro, we're human. We're gonna have these feelings. Some have different feelings, desires. Some have this, that. I don't know who makes this. I didn't make this shit. I don't know what your desires are. I try to be open and express mine. Oh, Google said, hopefully they didn't send me nothing bad. Oh no, they didn't. Okay, I was like, man, hopefully they. But yeah, so that's why I'm like, I reject the moral compass that society, religion, they try to implement on you. I'm like, yo, no, no. Let me develop my own desires and let me know what let me be a free thinker in deciding what I like. You're not gonna make me feel a certain way about the things that I like. I'm on the dark side. You're not gonna do that. And I forgot what the video was when old buddy said that, but he was trying to say I'm assuming that I was lusting over the picture or the video, and I was like, bro, we all lusting, motherfucker. What you hear? You're on the same picture, brother. Oh man. But that's a word that I'm going to explore, that libertine. I was like, yo, man, I'm a free thinker, man. Let me develop my own thoughts. Let me develop my own philosophy. You know, let me. I know it's not going. You're not going to let me. I am going to develop, and I'm also going to explore. I'm going to be responsible. I have to be responsible. Yeah, man, that's the new word I saw that I liked. I was like, it says, so began his education in love and women. They were his shadow self. I don't know what that means. His ruling passion. Now, I don't want this to be a ruling passion. I don't. Getting money and becoming the greatest version of myself is my passion. I'm my passion. Becoming great is my passion. Being wealthy is my passion. Stop being goddamn broke is my passion. You know, it's getting tough out here, man. AI, all this shit getting crazy, bro. The haves, the have-nots, that gap is getting wide, man. So that is my passion, man. Along the way, I want to enjoy women. I want to explore. I want to learn about them. I want to be educated. I want to enjoy and explore them sexually. Yeah. I want, if I find this style, like it's some styles I'm like, oh man, I didn't know that I'm giving you an example. I like the goth style, like that dark goth style. I was like, man. So when I was a kid, the Addams Family, I used to watch that movie, the one with Gomez Addams. What was his? It was a movie, but I don't know the actors' names. But the movie, I grew up on that movie, and Morticia, the lady who played Morticia, I think that was the lady that was in Al Bundy's movie. I think that was the TV show Al Bundy, that wife. Let me see. We got a little time, and then we're gonna end the stream. Let me see. Hold on. Addams Family movie. Addams Family movie. The 1993. Yeah, I'm an old guy now. Let's see if I can get the cast. Angelica Hudson, is that her name? No, I don't think that's her. Maybe that is her. What movie she played in? Let's see. Oh man, she hit. I ain't gonna say. I mean, a better years in the past. In terms of look wise, let's see. Career. Oh shit, they ain't gonna give me the goddamn movies. Just give me the movies she was in. I thought she was Al Bundy's wife in Personal Life Bibliography. No, I don't want to see that awards. But anyway, when I was a kid, in that movie, I was like, man, I couldn't express that then. But now when I'm as an adult, I'm like, yo, I used to admire that. I was like, yo, that dark, pale skin, just dark and just, I was like, yeah, that shit's sexy. And now I'm like, and then on my IG, they feed me a little bit of that. I'm like, yeah, I like that. That shit's sexy, yo. And that's what I mean about exploring what I like. You're not gonna tell me what I like. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. I'm gonna be a free thinker and say, okay, I like this. No, I don't like that. That's not really my thing. I mean, it's appealing, but that's not my interest. I can express that, as a libertine, But once again, I don't like how they describe it as a skirt chaser and all that. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. Once again, I'm about me first, me building myself, bossing up. I'm about that, establishing myself, getting myself together, putting myself in a great position, having options, leverages. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm about. The rest comes after. That's what I'm about, man. Man, that's gonna be the end. I went 2 hours today. I wasn't trying to go 2 hours. This was a really good chapter, man. I think that's what I'm gonna do for the next ones. The next chapter is gonna be about Angela. I have no idea who Angela is in Casanova's life. I'm very interested in that. I'm gonna read that, and what I'll do is pick 2 or 3 topics and just go from there. I was trying to give it all to you, but that's impossible. It's not impossible, but it's going to be super duper lengthy. And I should have known that because in my philosophy class, we do stuff like this. We did stuff like this. Man, I went to my college today. I'm downtown, and I walked to my university, which is not too far, man. Oh my goodness, man, it feels so good seeing my university, my second university. I went to University of Houston downtown for my second degree. Man, I felt. I mean, it just brung just like wow, just so many memories, man. Just sitting in my philosophy class and we can talk about subjects. And that's how I should have done it rather than, I'm not going to say should have. This is a learning experience and I'm doing it step by step, man. And in philosophy, we didn't go page, chapter, or paragraph by paragraph. We picked a few topics and we discussed it. And that's how I'm going to do it from now on. I think that's more beneficial for time and for your interest purposes. I'll just pick a few topics of my interest and we'll talk about it. So we won't go so long, because I know you got time. You ain't got all that kind of time. You got stuff to do. But man, I would appreciate it if you just enjoy just whatever section of the book that you or my stream that you found interesting. Send me some comments, man. Let's chat, man. I missed this, man. Now I'm glad I did it. This is my second stream. I'm glad. I got way more improvements to do, and I'm excited about it. I'm struggling with my Streamlabs, man. I paid for the service. I got my voice things. I got my videos, but I just can't upload it to my goddamn Stream Deck so I can hit the play and y'all can see the. I'm gonna get it, man. Man, I appreciate you for tuning in. Hit the like button. Hit the like button to let me know you saw something, just saw a little bit of it or something. See me a little comment. What's happening, Monk? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. And if you haven't done so, subscribe, baby. I really appreciate that shit, man. Man, we're gonna keep doing this shit, man. We got to. I have to do this shit now. Now I'm like, yo, I gotta do this shit, bro. I have to, man. Now, this is like I said, when I went to my university, I was like, yo, I miss my philosophy classes, bro. I miss that shit. And this is giving me that feeling again. It's not a feeling. It gives me that intellectual part that I've been missing, yo. Sharing ideas and me getting the chance to express myself. I'm always listening to Coach, which I'm always listening. I'm thankful for that. I love to listen to Coach. This gives me my chance to express my thoughts. Like I said, be that libertine, to be my free thinker and express my philosophies, my thoughts. And I miss that. I haven't been doing that. So I love this outlet. It's going to get better, baby. I'm in H-Town, man. I leave out tomorrow. And I hope to make my next move to my little next shindig. Hopefully this weather holds up, man. Please, H-Town, don't do me that. Don't do me that, baby. Don't do me that. But yeah, man, I appreciate the love. As always, peace. And I always end my stream by saying, be kind to yourself, fellas. You got to, man, because this world is getting crazy. It's getting bananas out here, man. So be kind to your motherfucking self. Peace. Yo.